Welcome to another episode of Whiteboard Wednesday, where I'm going to break down and explain a wholesaling or house flipping concept, definition, technique, or strategy to help you become a better investor. On today's video, I'm going to cover what is hard money lending coming up.
The Real Estate Funding Kit is out now. Learn how to get 100% funding for all your deals without dealing with the banks. Claim your free copy at myfundingkit.com.
If you're new here to this channel, I'm Norton with flippingmastery.com, and this channel is all about ways to help you make money wholesaling and flipping houses so you can live your dream life. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when new videos are released. And be sure to stay to the end of this video because I'll share additional videos to help you understand and go even deeper on this topic, as well as free resources to help you take action and implement what you've learned. Okay, so we're going to be talking about today, what is hard money lending? Now, if you're brand new to real estate, you may have heard this term. If you've been doing it for a little while, you've probably definitely heard of this term, especially if you're into fix and flip. Now, fix and flip is where you're going to acquire a distressed property. You're going to do some level of renovations, either a light carpet and paint rehab, or maybe a carpet paint kitchen bath, maybe a full-on gut where you're doing roof and windows and totally changing floor plans and layouts, adding additions. Whatever level of rehab it is, we call that fix and flip. You turn around and then flip it to a retail buyer for top dollar. Okay, so when we do fix and flip, when it comes to renovating houses, we're gonna need to have capital, because now instead of like wholesaling where you just flip your contract and you're out, with fix and flip, we're now gonna acquire the property, take title, take ownership, then we're gonna bring in money to then pay to have things fixed up. All of that money to buy it and fix it, we call that our capital investment into the deal. That capital investment to be able to do a fix and flip deal, those funds have to come from somewhere. Okay, now where could it come from? It can come from your own money. Maybe you have your own savings or investment capital that you could put into the deal, or you could go out and get capital from a third-party source. If you use traditional financing, you would go to a bank. Bank would loan you the money. You would then use that money to buy it and fix it up. That's really difficult to get and do. So what happens is there are asset-based lenders that actually specialize in funding fix and flip deals. So asset-based means that their number one priority, the focus of their lending criteria, is on the deal, not you as the borrower, like traditional financing. Traditional financing, they want to see your credit report, they want to see your credit history, they want to see your job, time on job. You know, they're really investing in you as the borrower and the property, but mostly as you as the borrower. If they feel good about you as the borrower, they'll lend you the money. So they look at all of that, income and everything. Whereas with fix and flip, using asset-based, unconventional funding, they primarily care about the merits of the deal. In other words, if it's a good deal, they'll give you the money, and they don't really care much about you and your history and your credit score or any of that. It's highly focused on the deal. Okay. Now that asset-based lending or unconventional lending, it's a short-term financing that's typically called hard money. Now I don't know why it's called hard money. It's actually pretty easy to get, but we call that hard money. Now these hard money lenders, they are regulated by the government and the SEC and so on, because normally what hard money means is it's institutional money, meaning they've pooled money together from individual investors. They created a fund, and then out of that fund, they lend to flippers like you and me. So because of that, the nature of where that money's coming from, and that's a fund that's highly regulated, that investment money or that institutionalized money that's used for fix and flips is then turned around. They take that money and they lend it out, obviously higher than what they're paying their investors. And that spread is what the hard money lending company earns. So because of that regulation, hard money lenders have to get licensed state by state. So some hard money lenders are just in one state, some are in multiple states. There are even some that are in all 50 states. They've gone and got licensed in all 50 states. And so, but my point with that is there are hard money lenders in your market that lend in your state. And these hard money lenders, they understand the market there, and they're eager and motivated and have funding to lend to you to do a fix and flip deal. Now, typically the way this works is they're going to be looking at what we call a loan to value. In other words, they don't want to lend you all of the money to buy it and fix it. They typically will lend you a percentage of the total amount that you need. Hard money lenders also will look at what we call loan to capital. Okay, so and they'll lend a percentage of that as well. So they're gonna look at the total value of the property. They're gonna give you money based on a percentage of that. They don't wanna give you 100% because now that's very risky. They wanna make sure they have equity, and they wanna make sure you have what's called skin in the game, meaning you're putting some money in. They're gonna give you the majority of the money to do the deal, but it's very difficult to get 100% funding from one hard money lender resource, right? Because again, they don't wanna give you all of the money, so they'll give you a percentage of it. Usually it's 80%, sometimes to 90% that's of the capital. So whatever the value is, they're gonna give you a percentage of that. That's easy to meet because we're always buying properties at a discount. The challenging one is the loan to capital. So for example, when it comes to loan to capital, if you need $100,000, they're not gonna give you all $100,000 to buy it and fix it. They're gonna give you a percentage of that. If it's 80% loan to capital, they'll give you $80,000. They'll be expecting that you come in with $20,000 from your own money or from some other way. That way they feel a little more protected in the deal. Okay, so that's loan to capital, that's hard money. They will give you though that 80%, let's call it. If you're new, it's 80%. If you have experience and you can show experience, they'll go up to 90%. But let's just assume for now that they'll give you 80% of the capital. That's 80% of the total. Buy it, fix it, 80% of that total number to fund your deal. Now it's higher interest rate. They're gonna charge fees. They're gonna charge what are called points, which is a lump sum percentage based on the loan amount. So they're gonna do these things, charge these fees. It is fairly expensive, but because it's readily available, it's easy to get, and it allows you to then do the deal. What we do is we factor in that higher interest, that higher cost of that money, so that we can go do a quick flip in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, whatever, 4 months, 6 months. But we factor in that cost of that hard money into the deal so that we still make a hefty profit flipping the house, even though we had to pay out for borrowing the capital. Okay, so that's hard money lending, basically in a nutshell. What's cool though is hard money is readily available in your market, and because the markets are doing good as of this video recording, hard money is easy to get. If you just Google hard money and put your state in Google, it will pull up a list of local active hard money lenders. You call them up and they're gonna be ready to do your deals. You can learn their criteria. I've also put together a ton of resources to really help you learn and understand hard money. If you take a look here, I've got this entire packet of not just hard money, but also private money. But I've got some really good resources in here to help you really understand how to get hard money, how to raise hard money, what it costs, how to calculate the interest and the fees, everything associated with that. I put this whole thing together in a kit for you to really help you raise capital to do deals. Just go to myfundingkit.com and you can get this entire resource for free, okay? myfundingkit.com, go there, download that now, and you can get that. So remember, the way to get into fix and flip without money is to learn how to raise capital. Hard money is where we get about 80% of that capital. And I've got a video I put together as a great resource, another resource for you that talks all about how to get 100% funding. Now again, you can only get about 80% from hard money, but then what I teach is another way to supplement the other 20% from another lending source. So that way you combine hard money at 80%, get the other 20% from another source. That way between the two, you're at 100% funding, which means no money, none of your own money into the deal. That's really awesome. So I'll put a link to that video in the description box below so you can check that out. And hey, thanks for joining me on this video. If you learned something new, hit that like button for me. Do me a favor and leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Share with me your biggest takeaway from this video. And if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. This is the fastest growing channel on YouTube for all things wholesaling and flipping. So be sure to do that. And remember, it's not about the money. It's about having the time and freedom to have, be, do, and give everything that God has in store for you. That's really what it's all about. And I'll see you on the next video.